I went to the theater with low expectations and a decent dose of nostalgia for the first movie, and I walked out with even more nostalgia. And honestly, that alone is enough to describe this sequel. A film that isn't a total disaster, but clings to its predecessor with the same desperation Linus has for his blanket. It's normal for a second chapter to lean on the first, but doing it obsessively, reminding you scene after scene that, yes, you're watching exactly what you expected, is a whole different story. 20 years have passed, yet everyone acts exactly like their younger selves, which makes the time jump completely pointless. If the characters, dynamics, and attitudes are identical, why set it 20 years later? It could have been 2 years later and nothing would have changed. It's a real shame, because the movie actually had some incredibly strong material to work with. The role of social media in the decline of real journalism, budget cuts in creative departments, rage baiting, modern corporate dynamics, generational shifts in big companies, and change as an inevitable force. All incredibly relevant themes, perfect for a sequel that wanted to say something meaningful about today's world. Instead, they're just decorations, ideas slapped onto a plot that has no clue what to do with them. The first movie worked because it told a story of real growth. We followed Andy, a lost young woman who, through her clash with Miranda, a strong, self-aware and commanding figure, became someone who finally understood who she was and what she wanted to do with her life. She didn't become Miranda, but she gained Miranda's awareness. In the sequel, that entire component disappears. Set 20 years later, we're no longer watching a young woman finding her place and a powerful woman at her peak. Instead, we get a Miranda who seems to be fighting the passage of time, and a 40-something Andy acting like a teenager, honestly, even more childish than her 2006 version. The result: no growth, no evolution, no character arc. Everyone is frozen exactly where they were 20 years ago, as if time simply didn't happen. Which leads to the obvious question: what is this movie even trying to say? The third act is basically a copy-paste of the original. Andy trying to save Miranda, Miranda who already knew everything, the tension, the reveal, except in the first film. All of that led to a bittersweet, iconic ending. Andy choosing not to belong to that world, and Miranda closing the movie with that unforgettable smile. Here, the film ends pretty much exactly where it started. No one grows, no one changes, no one learns anything. And the most baffling choice is Andy's. After spending 20 years chasing real journalism, traveling the world, finally building the career she wanted, she goes back to Runway. She literally returns to the place she walked away from after realizing it wasn't her life. It completely undermines her entire arc from the first movie. This film walks in with its head down, fully aware of what it is: a sequel built on nostalgia, not on narrative necessity. It has huge themes, but lets them evaporate. It has iconic characters, but refuses to let them grow. It has a massive legacy, but never finds the courage to add anything new. The result is a movie that's entertaining enough, sure, but painfully lacking the spark, wit, and charm that made the first film timeless. And at this point, I'm just gonna go rewatch the original.